I'm Dr. Salvatore Lacagnina. I'm the Vice President for Health and Wellness for the Lee Memorial Health System. When you really look at the ways that people stay healthy, to me there's a foundation with healthy eating, regular exercise, stress management, and sleeping. Those are, as I say, like the four legs on a chair. The reason that's really necessary is because you have to have strong, healthy skeletal muscles in order to burn calories and to have a good metabolism so that you maintain an ideal body weight. The thing that impacts that is your ability to get quality sleep and to have healthy nutrition. The reason that the quality sleep is important is because during the night when you're in REM sleep, you make growth hormone. The growth hormone allows you to build healthy skeletal muscle. So if you don't have the growth hormone, and also if you don't have healthy nutrition in your system, it's very hard to bulk up and to build healthy skeletal muscle. There really is a school of thought as far as protein and how much protein do you really need to be a bodybuilder or just to be healthy and to use weightlifting and resistance exercise as part of your routine for healthy living. Women generally need about 40 grams a day, men about 50 grams a day, and it appears that when people eat more animal protein and dairy protein, they end up with more chronic illness and more cancer. Depending on what you're doing with your exercise routine, the majority of people that are exercising are not really looking to bodybuild. That's really a very specific class of individuals, and it is obviously to an extreme if you're really exercising at that level. The common person gets injured when they weightlift, usually because they're tired or their form is incorrect. So it's always helpful if you haven't yet started an exercise routine to work with an exercise specialist, an exercise physiologist, a physical therapist, somebody that can show you actually how to do that in a healthy and safe way. And then also making sure that you're not doing your weight training when you're tired. So a lot of people will do aerobic exercise and then they'll do weight training. That's probably not the right order to do it in, because if you're tired from the aerobic exercise, you've been on the treadmill for half an hour or you're running outside or whatever else you're doing, you're probably more prone to injury because of that. So if you're going to do your weight training in conjunction with your aerobic exercise, it's probably best to do the weight training first and then do your cardio workout after that. You know, one of the things that I think I read about is that their diets oftentimes are very extreme, you know, and I really wonder if it's the healthiest diet if you're eating, you know, for a man, again, if they're eating 100 grams of protein a day, that's twice the requirement for a man, so it might actually be harmful in the long run. And then also, some people that do bodybuilding competitions will take anabolic steroids and other you know, enhancers, if you will, that are absolutely unhealthy. So it may cause you to get big skeletal muscles and win competitions, but what are you doing to your cardiovascular system, to your kidneys, to your liver? Those are the things that you really need to be concerned about. Too much protein is unhealthy. Research really does show that if you take in too much protein, it causes too much stress on your kidneys, and over time that can cause kidney damage. So you have to eat the right amount of protein, but you have to eat healthy protein. So if you're eating a lot of animal products, which now are really contaminated with pesticides, with growth hormone, with antibiotics, and even dairy products, all contaminated with the same stuff, you're probably not getting healthy protein in your system. So when we make recommendations for people to be on either a vegetarian or a vegan type diet, they usually will ask, well, how am I going to get my protein? When you compare calorie per calorie, there's actually more protein in vegetables than there is in animal products. If you look at 100 calories of steak, there's about 7 grams of protein. And if you look at 100 calories of broccoli, there's about 11 grams of protein. So you actually get healthier and more protein from eating vegetables than you do from eating meat, because meat is only about 25% protein and the rest is fat. All of the green leafy vegetables have protein in them. Then we usually tell people to add nuts, lentils, beans. You know, if you want to make like a pasta dish, you can put vegetables and beans in there and even lentils. I mean, it's a great meal that fills you up and it gives you a lot of healthy nutrition, both some carbohydrates and some protein. Because really the combination of the two, when you're working out, you really need some healthy carbohydrates because that breaks down into sugar, which is used as an immediate energy source. And you need the proteins to rebuild the skeletal muscle after you've done damage by exercising. Supplements are actually fine, but I always ask people, you know, if you're taking a multivitamin, how do you know what you're supposed to take? Because most people don't do blood tests to see if they're vitamin deficient. So there are tests that you can do. There's a test called SpectraCell, which is a really interesting blood test because it looks at all of the levels of your vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, and it helps you to know if you're deficient in anything. So if you're eating a healthy diet, you may not be deficient in any vitamins at all, so taking supplements is probably a waste of money. And with the fat-soluble vitamins, vitamin A, D, E, and K, over time, if you're taking them and you don't need them, they just get stored up in your body and they can cause toxicity over time. So you really have to be academic about it and say, well, let me do a blood test, make sure that I'm not deficient in anything. If I am, then I take the supplements that I need instead of taking just a multivitamin, which is really just a shotgun approach.